Hello and welcome to episode number 14 of WITM Season 5. It's time for Starrcade, where we have two WITM matches on the card, including Dalton Roush and non-title action against Drew McIntyre, and Corey getting an Intercontinental title opportunity inside of a steel cage against Bobby Lashley. But before we get into that, I just wanted to note something interesting. As you all have probably noticed, I've been uploading WITM Season 3 content throughout the week, and I'm basically doing it because it'd be nice to have a whole backlog of every WITM episode I still have saved on our YouTube channel, and number two, to clear out space on the hard drive I have all those episodes stored on from before we did start doing YouTube, to clear that hard drive for being able to add more storage to my PlayStation 4. I was not expecting what I just saw about half an hour ago. Some of those episodes are blowing up, particularly the rivalry that happened in WITM Season 3 between the AA Hardcore Cruisers, Andrew and Austin Aries, and hashtag DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. One of those videos has 26 or 27 views, which already, after 2 days of being uploaded, ties it for the second most viewed video in WITM history since we've gone to YouTube. And then there's another one that has over 20 views as well. 3 of the videos that are AA Hardcore Cruisers versus hashtag DIY from WITM Season 3 have like over 15 views, which is crazy. I was in no way expecting those WITM Season 3 uploads to be that popular, but a lot of people, I guess, enjoy going back in time and getting to see Austin Aries and hashtag DIY. But anyway, that's the past. Let's talk about the present. It's time for Starrcade. As I mentioned, we have 2 WITM matches on the card. There are 9 matches altogether. Now, first of all, Starrcade isn't technically a pay-per-view. It's actually a WWE Network special, essentially a house show. But since it did air on the WWE Network and it does have title matches, and a lot of titles, like the Intercontinental title, haven't been defended in a long time in both WITM and in real life, I decided that here in WITM, we are going to essentially treat Starrcade as a pay-per-view. We have 9 different matches altogether on the card, as I mentioned, on 2 separate saves. Our WITM matches are Dalton Roush versus Drew McIntyre, 2 men that found themselves on the same side on Team Raw 1 week ago at Survivor Series that will now find themselves opponents in non-title action at Starrcade. And then later on, Corey is going to renew his rivalry that started brewing up about a month ago with the Intercontinental Champion Bobby Lashley. They are going to fight inside of a steel cage for the Intercontinental Championship. So first, let's go over to our other save where we will find our women's matches on the card. And we will sim. So in our first matchup of the card, it's non-title action in the Raw Women's Division. And the heel side, the team of Tamina, Mickie James, Ruby Riott, Nia Jax, defeats the face side of Natalya, Ronda Rousey, Ember Moon, and Alicia Fox. And in the other women's match on the card, Billie Kay, one half of the Iconics, defeats Mandy Rose. Now we can move on to our other save that has our two WITM matchups on it.
I look at this card and my mouth starts to water. Next up, tag team action.
And we have tag team action featuring members of SmackDown Live as Rusev and Jeff Hardy, accompanied by Rusev's wife Lana, takes on the United States champion Shelton Benjamin and Samoa Joe. And Rusev is going to pick up the Rusev and Jeff Hardy, rather, are going to pick up the victory. Over the United States champion Shelton Benjamin. And Samoa Joe. And now we get into our first WITM matchup of the night. It's non-title action in the Raw Universal Championship division as two men who are teammates at Survivor Series find themselves on opposite sides of singles action here at Starrcade. It's Dalton Roush versus Drew McIntyre, accompanied by his tag team partner, Dolph Ziggler. Let's get our first matchup of the night underway.
Now don't go anywhere. We have a classic coming up versus a formidable opponent. You don't want to miss it.
Alright, so Dalton Roush, of course, part of that winning Team Raw at Survivor Series alongside Drew McIntyre. Dalton Roush has, for the most part, had a very successful past month or so. Of course, winning the WWE World Cup at Crown Jewel, defeating the Universal Champion Dean Ambrose in non-title action, defeating Team SmackDown as part of Team Raw at Survivor Series. Will Dalton's success continue here in this non-title matchup at Starrcade against Drew McIntyre? Let's find out and get our first matchup of the night underway.
Man is a real force. Drew McIntyre. Revamped attitude. Revamped appearance.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Dolph Ziggler, from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 254 pounds, Drew McIntyre.
McIntyre's made it his mission to eliminate all the complacency in WWE. You know, Drew McIntyre arrived and he was the chosen one. Handpicked by WWE Chairman Mr. McMahon. And Drew will admit that he became complacent. Felt like he didn't have to work hard to get to the top. When he got fired, he went away, he got a new attitude, and now he's back, bigger and badder than ever, with a vengeance. Yeah, this new attitude from Drew McIntyre dictates he will take
Weighing in at 257 pounds, Dalton.
Guys, we have two of WWE's most exciting superstars ready to square off here.
And there's nothing quite like seeing two superstars settling it in the ring in one-on-one action, Michael.
And there's the bell. This match is underway.
And here we go. This is the type of battle that
McIntyre forces Dalton onto the ropes,
this is what
or rather onto the apron,
WWE's all about.
and connects with a brain buster.
I get tired of watching these guys compete.
And Dalton with a slam to McIntyre.
Oh, man.
Stomp
Right
to the arm.
Hyperextend your elbow.
Shoulder block by McIntyre. Now forces Dalton to his feet.
Here we are,
And
guys.
Dalton by one leg
after the
is able to powerbomb Drew McIntyre. Dalton showing off some of that
and we're still
impressive power there he possesses.
only now, unlike back then, the best
McIntyre
way to catch a
kicks
WWE
Dalton back
pay-per-view
down to the mat.
is on the WWE Network.
Flatliner, man, face first.
And now he goes
Gives
for it a
kick to the
second
chest
time.
of Dalton. And an arm
I have
drag.
to agree with you, Michael. The best place to watch pay-per-views is on the WWE Network, which, as you know, also features thousands of hours of programming,
There's
including
a
one of my personal favorites.
Series of elbow strikes by McIntyre. Now a chop to force Dalton into the
corner.
corner.
That would be great.
Now Dalton forced into a
Sitting
bad
next
position.
to you
The
each
tree of
week is
woe.
more than enough,
Kick to
Saxton.
the chest.
There's not enough money on the planet Earth to get me to live in a house with you. Forget it.
And shoulder block by Dalton. Dalton misses with a stomp. Now forces McIntyre to his feet.
The old pump handle. Wow, what a slam. The spotlight's definitely
Dalton with
on
a
these
great pump
superstars
handle
here tonight.
slam
Anytime
there.
you have the opportunity to compete on a pay-per-view, you can bet the whole WWE
And Dalton with another
universe
power slam. Dalton
will be
really showing
watching.
off some impressive power early on this match, trying to use the power game to wear down a powerful opponent in Drew McIntyre.
As Michael was
Now
saying
Dalton
earlier,
using
the
his legs
entire
to
WWE universe
wear down
is
the
undoubtedly
stomach
watching this match.
McIntyre.
And while I've never competed on a WWE pay-per-view,
it's locked in well.
I would have to think that it's pretty
Dalton
nerve-wracking.
back to his feet now,
Just
but
the fact that
McIntyre
they
kips
let
up
you
and hits
Commentate on a
Dalton
WWE
with a
pay-per-views
clothesline in
enough,
the
Saxton.
corner.
I can't imagine actually having to see you compete in the ring.
McIntyre, of course, has some impressive power as well and showing it off there. Now forces Dalton to his feet.
Big time slam right there.
Let's call
There's
it
a
like it is,
reversal by
guys.
Dalton.
It doesn't get much bigger than this. A featured match on a
Dalton trying to get
major
the WWE Universe
pay-per-view.
behind him
This
as
is huge
McIntyre
for these superstars.
crawls to the ropes. Now using
It's
the
locked
ropes
in,
to
got a
wear
tap,
down
got
the
a
arm
tap.
of
Drew
McIntyre.
McIntyre. Here we go.
Dalton goes
Drew
for cover,
McIntyre gets the shoulder.
and McIntyre powers out of
doing
one.
this.
There's a kick to the back. Suplex by McIntyre.
Corey noted earlier just how big this
Goes
is
for
for these
cover.
superstars. This is why they choose to get into this business.
And
This
Dalton
is why
powers
they
out
spend
of
those
one.
countless hours training.
Dalton rolls out of the way to avoid the stomp, but out of nowhere there's the baby rock
in the
bottom
driver's
signature
seat now.
maneuver. But Dolph Ziggler is distracting the official. So Dalton not even bothering to try to make a cover yet.
Seems to me, guys, like we're just moments away from seeing the
There's a
finisher, which
reversal
could
by
obviously
McIntyre.
put this
Now
match
mounted punches.
on ice. When this guy's on, look out.
Forces Dalton up.
McIntyre, the human body.
And there's a headbutt by McIntyre.
So much of that.
Goes for cover.
Shoulders on the back. Digging deep.
And McIntyre nearly picking up the victory there, but Dalton is able to power out at 2.5.
The finisher could absolutely end this match, Michael, as you were
There's a
saying,
reversal
but
by
it's not
Dalton.
guaranteed. Sometimes
and now Dalton distracted by Dolph Ziggler.
Done. And even
that will allow McIntyre to get back to his feet.
Randy Savage versus the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 7.
That's my favorite match.
And go on the attack from behind.
Savage landed an amazing 5 top
rope suplex by McIntyre.
Unable to put Warrior away. And you know what? He probably could have hit him with
reversal by Dalton.
There was just no stop.
Dalton forces McIntyre up.
You got to think about using the finisher here
for a suplex, but reversal by McIntyre.
And move on. There's no need to keep this thing going longer than necessary.
McIntyre with a pile driver. Now heading to the corner, looking for a signature maneuver.
Claymore! It's going to be over.
And the running dropkick connects, goes for cover.
Gets the shoulder.
And that looks like it may have been a 3 count to me. McIntyre believes it was a 3 count. But the referee says no, this match continues. There's another headbutt to force Dalton onto the ropes.
Just plants his face.
Elbow straight to the head, elbow straight to the back of the head. Suplex by McIntyre. But McIntyre's starting to get low on stamina. Can he keep up the offense?
Guys, but it looks to me like we're possibly nearing the end here. Gets out of the way of that one.
Clothesline by Dalton. Now it's Dalton trying to get back into this match with the help of the WWE
He's looking
Universe.
a little wobbly here, guys.
Michael, his legs look like they're about to give out on him.
And McIntyre dumped onto the outside. Referee starts the count. Dalton electing to stay inside the ring and wait for McIntyre to get back inside.
Think about stopping this one before somebody gets seriously injured.
As Drew slowly begins to get up, Dalton does decide to head onto the outside.
A sickening
thud suplex
as
by
his
Dalton.
body is driven to the mat. Drew McIntyre looks like he's really struggling under this pressure. Looks to me like he just hit a wall.
Guys,
there's another suplex nearly putting McIntyre through that announce table.
Outside of the ring, which really begs the question why he's been out there so much.
The reversal by McIntyre.
Comeback to NXT. Now he's going to need another comeback.
Arm drag by Dalton. And Dalton makes his way back into the ring.
Inside the ring now.
McIntyre back as well.
Drew McIntyre gets out of the way.
He's making a statement here with this attack.
Dalton on the ropes. There's a right from McIntyre.
Drew
and yet another headbutt.
Just when you thought he had...
McIntyre goes for cover.
Right here. Too close for cover.
And once again, nearly picks up the victory in shock that he did not. But nonetheless, this match will continue. Dalton forced to his feet.
McIntyre looking to end this.
Kick to the gut. Looking for the future shock DDT, and it connects. Will this put away Dalton?
He's running on fumes here. Does he have enough left in him to capitalize? Yeah, talk about him. Yes!
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, Dalton is going to take a loss at Starrcade at the hands of Drew McIntyre, and he will fall further down the Universal title rankings.
I don't like to throw around a lot of praise, but my eyes tell me that might have been one of the great matches in recent WWE history. I could watch highlights of that one all night long. One of the great WWE matches I've ever been able to watch. Wow. I haven't seen a match like that in a long time. I might go home and watch a replay. It was that good.
Here is your winner, Drew McIntyre.
It's all over and McIntyre stands victorious.
And you know there are guys in the back right now hoping they never have to cross paths with this guy.
Guys, I have to say, that was an amazing match.
All right, so unfortunately Dalton is going to take a loss here. his second straight loss
Catch your
in
breath,
singles
because the next
action.
match should be every bit
He'll
as
fall
good.
down to a still
Tag
very
team
impressive
match on the
record of
way.
16-9-1, but will fall further down the Universal title rankings. But now Starrcade continues. We still have one more WITM matchup, and it is a huge one. But first, let's take a look at some of the other results here at Starrcade. The Revival pick up a victory over the Authors of Pain, accompanied by their manager and 205 Live general manager, Drake Maverick. And the first steel cage match on the card, Rey Mysterio picks up a victory over Shinsuke Nakamura in the SmackDown WWE Championship division. In our first of two title matches on the card, Sanity puts the SmackDown Tag Team Championships on the line against the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. And we have new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. The Good Brothers put an end to the very long and very impressive SmackDown Tag Team Championship reigns of Sanity. We have new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Will it be 2 for 2? Will we see Corey become Americano champion tonight? We have a return here at Starrcade, just as happened in real life. Baron Corbin, the Raw general manager, issued an open challenge, and out came the returning Bray Wyatt. He's been out of action for a few months after his former tag team partner, Matt Hardy, suffered a possibly career-ending injury. He returns tonight at Starrcade to take on Bray Wyatt and as the newest member of the Raw's Universal Championship division. But it's going to be Baron Corbin upsetting, or rather spoiling, Bray Wyatt's return, picking up a victory here at Starrcade. And now we have our second matchup of the night, as Corey, who not that long ago was in the midst of an 8-man losing streak, has made the few appearances he's had so far in the WIT Season 5 count, and climbed up to the #1 contendership to the Intercontinental title. Tonight at Starrcade, he'll face Lashley inside of a steel cage with Lashley's Intercontinental Championship that he's held for probably at least 8 or 9 months on the line. Lashley has been a very impressive Intercontinental champion. Will Corey be able to end that reign? But before we get into the match, excuse me, Corey and Bobby Lashley's hype man, Lio Rush, had some choice words for each other backstage. Let's listen in and hear what they had to say. Alright, so starting off, the challenger, Corey, what does he have to say about his opponent, Bobby Lashley, his hype man, Lio Rush, and tonight's matchup? Bobby Lashley, around 3 months ago, I answered your Intercontinental Championship Open Challenge on Raw, and you beat me fair and square. I had respect for you at that time, but that all changed about 1 month ago when I faced you again in a non-title match. I hit you with the blackout, and you responded by sending your hype boy, Lio Rush, into the ring to jump me. So what changed, Lashley? Have you grown too egotistical, or are you perhaps afraid that someone like me is going to come along and expose the fact that you're just not all that you're hyped up to be? Like a good friend once told me when I started growing ego in the past, pride always comes before the fall. And tonight, you're going to learn that the hard way. Inside that steel cage, with no Lio Rush to save you, we're going to go to war. And I'm going to expose you and climb, crawl, or walk out of that cage, the new Intercontinental Champion. Because I am the that was my last gimmick. Because I am the chosen warrior, chosen for greatness, and always battle ready. Alright, we heard from the challenger, Corey. Now we hear from the hype man for the defending Intercontinental Champion, Bobby Lashley. What does Lio Rush of 205 Live and appearing on Raw as Bobby Lashley's hype man have to say to respond to Corey. Bobby Lashley, scared? Don't make me laugh. Corey, you should be thanking Bobby Lashley that he had me jump you on Raw and in that match early. Because if he didn't, you'd still be missing Raw every week because you wouldn't even have the luxury of watching from your couch. You'd be watching from a wheelchair or a hospital bed. Kind of like you will be after tonight. Corey, have you seen the big man inside a cage before? We're talking about a man who not only has mastered the ring, but the octagon as well. And tonight, he's going to dominate, just like he has done ever since he came back to WWE. And with the Intercontinental title around his waist, he'll walk out of Starrcade looking like money, smelling like money, and with the WWE Universe and myself, of course, chanting loudly and proudly, Lashley, 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 Lashley. Yeah, as I'm sure it's just as annoying when I do it as when the real life Lio Rush does it. But that sets the stage for our Intercontinental title matchup tonight. Originally scheduled to be a street fight and then changed here in WITM and in real life as well to a steel cage match. So
The wait is finally over, folks, so strap in for the main event.
Singles action coming your way.
So, of course, in a steel cage matchup, you must either get a pinfall or submission. You can also win by escaping the cage, either through the door, escaping through the door in the front of the cage, or climbing up and over the cage and with your feet touching the ground before your opponents. Will Corey be holding championship gold once again and end the very long, very impressive reign of Bobby Lashley, the man who's coming in with every bonus possible as number one in the Raw Power Rankings, coming in at a 98 overall rating after rankings bonuses? Or will Bobby Lashley's dominant reign continue? Let's find out and get this Intercontinental title matchup underway.
The championship is up for grabs. Coming up next,
we have one of the best talents on the roster to date, taking on some tough competition.
The crowd is buzzing. Championship match on tap.
All right, so as I mentioned before, Corey not that long ago was in the midst of an 8-match losing streak, but in his very limited appearances he's had so far in WITM Season 5, he has made them count. Corey defeated the WWE World Cup winner Dalton Roush on Raw. He has a non-title victory over Bobby Lashley after Lio Rush, Bobby Lashley's hype man, interfered, and Corey won that match by disqualification. He also got eliminated the final member of Team SmackDown to secure the victory for Team Raw at Survivor Series. But even with all that, the Intercontinental Championship could very well mean the difference for Corey between starting to appear on Raw once again or not competing at all. Huge opportunity for Corey, for Bobby Lashley looking to extend that already very impressive Intercontinental Championship reign. Intercontinental title on the line. Inside of a steel cage, Bobby Lashley versus Corey for the Intercontinental Championship. Let's get this match underway.
The following contest is a steel cage match and is for the Intercontinental Championship.
The excitement level for this steel cage match is incredible right now, guys.
Well, as somebody who literally wore out his VHS copy of Coliseum home videos inside the steel cage, I can tell you that there's perhaps no more exciting match than this.
My man. When you talk about power, you talk about this man. One of the most impressive athletes ever to step foot in a WWE ring. A successful mixed martial artist. Lashley is finally back where he belongs in WWE.
Well, to that point, Corey, this is the man of Bobby Lashley who spent 10 years away from WWE, but he came back because he felt like he had unfinished business. He felt like he had more he wanted to accomplish, and so far, Bobby Lashley is on track.
Introducing the challenger from Erie, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 310 pounds, Corey. Introducing the champion from Colorado Springs, Colorado, weighing in at 273 pounds. He is the Intercontinental Champion, Bobby Lashley.
Don't move, don't speak, don't even blink.
And there is the prize on the line, the Intercontinental Championship, the title that Bobby Lashley has held pretty much a death grip on over the last 8-9 months or so. It's also the first title that Corey won when he joined the main roster back in WITM
And here we go.
Season 3.
Undoubtedly
Will it help?
thrilling steel cage match.
Will Corey win it once again for the third time in his career and help get his career back on track and also get back on Raw as a regular competitor? This is also the first time that we see the official character model for Bobby Lashley, no longer using a cough for Lashley. The Titans Pack DLC that included Bobby Lashley releasing a few days ago, so we now have an official character model for Bobby Lashley, and we're seeing it in action for the first time. Of course, on paper, Bobby Lashley with a huge advantage.
Bravo to the voters.
As number one in the Raw Power Rankings, he has every rankings boost he can possibly get,
I
pretty
know
much.
this superstar agrees
But
with
this being a
It's
special
about time.
stipulation where you don't necessarily have to get a pinfall or submission
got
to win the match may
Not yet.
help Corey as well.
He's targeting the midsection here.
Well, while Corey lauds the Power
Lashley
Rankings
with
voting
the
process, I will say that there are more than a few people who
And a
think a few
clothesline.
mistakes were made this past
Lashley
week,
already
particularly
trying to
as it
escape
relates
the
to
cage
Superstars ranking.
and retain his Intercontinental Championship. Corey showing no signs of stirring just yet, and Lashley's
It's like he's not happy unless
already
he's
made
pushing
some decent
somebody's
progress. Now he will get to his feet
Unleashing it for the second
and pull
time
down
now.
Bobby Lashley. Lashley probably wasn't that much farther away from getting to the top of the cage.
Heavy
Uppercut by Lashley, a right by Lashley.
I didn't realize he had such a glass jaw.
He's intent on
Lashley targeting the leg of Corey and taking him down. Lashley, a very dominant Intercontinental champion, has looked pretty dominant early on in this matchup. But here comes Corey with mounted punches.
The champ's starting to stumble a bit, but it's going to take a lot more.
Of course, as Leo Rush alluded to, Bobby Lashley, no stranger being locked inside of a cage.
He's not going to let something like this stop
fought
him from winning the steel
for
cage.
Bellator MMA when he was also part of Impact Wrestling.
Superstars relax a
Full
bit
double
after being
duty as
slotted
part
high
of
in the
Impact
rankings.
Wrestling and
That, of course,
Bellator
is the last
MMA.
thing you want to do in a situation like this.
Well, I don't think we have to worry about that with this superstar, Cole. Some competitors are known for believing
Lashley
their own
forces
hype, but
Corey
that's
to his
definitely
feet.
not the case here.
There's a suplex by Lashley.
This is
Lashley
what makes him one of the best in the
with repeated
business.
boots to the face of Corey.
We know what's coming here.
Lashley showing off that impressive power that Leo Rush constantly rants and raves about.
Well executed.
And we're seeing on display again there with the signature. And now Lashley has a good opportunity to scale the cage and remain Intercontinental Champion. Corey's starting to stir, but will he get to his feet quickly enough using those ropes? But Lashley has made it to the top of the cage. Lashley's starting to get onto the other side. Corey striking away at Lashley. Lashley now seated on the top of the cage. Corey needs to be careful he doesn't accidentally punch Lashley over the side and accidentally cause Lashley to
With that in
retain.
mind, regardless of
And
their
somehow,
personal
right at the
feelings,
nick of
you'd have to
time,
think
Corey
the
now
locker
has
room was rooting for
Lashley
the champion here tonight.
back
The
on
last
his
thing
side
they
of the
wanna do is have to wait
cage.
even longer while the champ's rematch clause kicks in.
Lashley, though, knocks Corey off of the cage, back down onto the canvas, and Lashley is going to get an opportunity to start climbing once again.
We may very well be seeing the finisher here very
Corey
shortly,
beginning to
guys.
stir again, but it may be too little too late.
It's gonna be over.
Lashley starting to get onto the outside of the cage. Corey begins climbing once again. Will it be enough? Lashley's on the other side of the cage, and I don't really think there's anything Corey can do from here. Lashley is going to remain Intercontinental Champion
This will go down as one of his
in pretty dominant fashion. Corey just too little too late, getting back into the matchup and getting onto that cage to try to stop
I
Lashley.
can't believe what we just witnessed.
Lashley's very impressive Intercontinental title reign is going to continue, and Corey,
That was just one of those matches
he's
that
just
the
going
men
to
involved
hope
should
that
just be
he can
proud to be a part of. A
start
legendary
appearing on
performance.
Raw more often, let
This
alone
entire match
get
was
back
just
in the
one
Intercontinental
big
title
highlight
race.
reel, and I didn't expect anything else.
Here is your winner, and still the Intercontinental Champion, Bobby Lashley.
And there's your winner. I don't make the matches, but if I did, I'd put these two back in the ring ASAP. What an amazing match.
What a thrilling main event. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Have a great night.
Alright, so Corey's second title opportunity against Bobby Lashley during Bobby Lashley's very impressive title reign. It will also be unsuccessful. Bobby Lashley dominant for the majority of the matchup. Corey would do all he could to get to his feet in time to stop Bobby Lashley from escaping that cage, but it would not be enough. Bobby Lashley is your winner and still the Intercontinental Champion. And how these results affect the rankings on Raw and 205 Live, let's find out. We'll start off with the women, starting with the Raw women. Tamina, Mickie James, Ruby Riott, and Nia Jax defeat Natalya, Ronda Rousey, Ember Moon, and Alicia Fox. Tamina moves up to the #1 contendership. Mickie James moves up to #3. Ruby Riott moves up to #5. Nia Jax moves up to #7. Natalya falls to #3. Ronda Rousey falls to #5. Ember Moon falls to #7. Alicia Fox falls to #10. Sheer Raw Women's Rankings, the champion is Bayley. #1 contender Tamina. #2 Mickie James. #3 Natalya. #4 Ruby Riott. #5 Ronda Rousey. #6 Nia Jax. #7 Ember Moon. #8 Sarah Logan. #9 Sasha Banks. Number 10, Alicia Fox. Number 11, Dana Brooke. And number 12, Liv Morgan. In the SmackDown Women's Rankings, Billie Kay defeated Peyton Royce. Kay moves up to number 3. Royce falls to number 3. She has SmackDown Women's Rankings. The champion is Sonya Deville. Number 1 contender, Charlotte Flair. Number 2, Billie Kay. Number 3, Peyton Royce. Number 4, Mandy Rose. Number 5, Lana. Number 6, Becky Lynch. Number 7, Carmella. Number 8, Asuka. And number 9, Naomi. In the we'll go to tag teams next, starting with the Raw Tag Team division. The Revival defeated the Authors of Pain. The Revival move up to number 2. Authors of Pain falls to number 2, so the Revival move up to the number 1 contendership. The champions are the Ascension. Number 1 contenders, the Revival. Number 2, Authors of Pain. Number 3, Slater and Rhino. Number 4, Lucha House Party. Number 5, the B Team. And number 6, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. In the SmackDown Tag Team division, we have new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Gallows and Anderson, ending the very impressive SmackDown Tag Team title reigns of Sanity. Gallows and Anderson are the new champions. Sanity falls to number 2. So the champions, Gallows and Anderson. Number 1 contenders, New Day. Number 2, the former champion, Sanity. Number 3, the Usos. Number 4, the Bar. And number 5, the Colognes. Now for the mid-card championship, starting with the Intercontinental Championship. Bobby Lashley defeated Corey to remain Intercontinental Champion. Corey falls to number 2. The Intercontinental Champion, Bobby Lashley. Number 1, No Way Jose. Number 2, Corey. Number 3, Apollo Crews. Number 4, Mojo Rawley. Number 5, Jinder Mahal. Number 6, Elias. Number 7, Tyler Breeze. Number 8, Zack Ryder. 9, Titus O'Neil. And number 10, Kurt Hawkins. Now the SmackDown mid-card title rankings. Rusev and Jeff Hardy defeated Shelton Benjamin and Samoa Joe. Rusev remains number 1 contender. Hardy moves up to number 4. Benjamin remains U.S. champion, and Samoa Joe is in the WWE title division. So the U.S. champion is Shelton Benjamin. Number 1 contender, Rusev. Number 2, Gerald. Number 3, Aiden English. Number 4, Jeff Hardy. Number 5, R-Truth. Number 6, Andrade Cien Almas. Now we move on to the major championships, starting with the Universal title. Drew McIntyre defeated Dalton Roush. McIntyre becomes number 1 contender. Dalton falls to number 6. Baron Corbin defeated Bray Wyatt. Corbin moves up to number 3. Wyatt remains at the bottom, number 7. And so the Universal Champion, Dean Ambrose. Number 1 contender, Drew McIntyre. Number 2, Finn Balor. Number 3, Baron Corbin. Number 4, Dolph Ziggler. Number 5, Seth Rollins. Number 6, Dalton Roush. Number 7, Bray Wyatt. And last but not least, the WWE Championship rankings over on SmackDown. Rusev and Jeff Hardy defeated Shelton Benjamin and Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe moves down to number 6. Rey Mysterio defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. They swap spots. Mysterio to number 4, Nakamura to number 5. And so the WWE Champion is AJ Styles. Number 1 contender, Daniel Bryan. Number 2, Randy Orton. Number 3, The Miz. Number 4, Rey Mysterio. Number 5, Shinsuke Nakamura. And number 6, Samoa Joe. So now we move on to Monday Night Raw. Will Corey see his first, despite his loss in an Intercontinental title matchup here at Starrcade, will Corey see his first action on Raw in the last 3-4 weeks? And will Dalton Roush be in action coming off of his loss at Starrcade? We will see Dalton Roush in action. It was going to be 6-man tag action for the second week in a row. Again, that does not really make sense, as I'm pretty sure the Ascension are heels and Dalton is a face. Yeah, that is the case. So let me go to the randomizer real quick, because I'm definitely going to need to edit this match. I need to find Seth Rollins. It makes no sense for him to be in the match at all, because he's not going to team with the Ascension. So let me use the randomizer to determine who's going to take Rollins' place in the match. And probably will be Baron Corbin. Yeah, we'll just go with Baron Corbin. So it'll be Connor and Victor, the Ascension, and Baron Corbin versus Slater and Rhino and Dalton Roush. So Dalton Roush in tag team action for the second week in a row. And Corey will be in action as well. He'll be making his return to Raw, his first action that he's had on Raw in about 3-4 weeks, and it's going to be a rematch from Starrcade against the man who just defeated him, the Intercontinental Champion Bobby Lashley, accompanied by his hype man Lio Rush. So 2 matches tomorrow night in our 11:30 Monday Night Raw stream. The Ascension and the Raw General Manager Baron Corbin versus Heath Slater and Rhino and Dalton Roush. And then Corey versus Bobby Lashley in a non-title rematch. So that is going to do it for episode number 14 of WITM Season 5. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you not miss a live stream or posting. And check out the links in the description. The first will be the WITM website where you can find out how to become a WITM member for free and get your own custom character with custom entrance, custom moveset, custom promos, and custom storylines. Check out the WITM Twitter as well for all the latest WITM news and updates. Until episode number 15 tomorrow night with the Ascension and Baron Corbin versus Slater and Rhino and Dalton and Corey in a non-title rematch against the Intercontinental Champion Bobby Lashley. This is Corey with WITM Car Wrestling, signing off.